Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another Lost Ark sort of video. I don't know. It's always weird calling this a Lost Ark video because it's really not, but it kind of is. I don't know, man. It's your comfort food for some of you while the servers are down tonight. What's up? We're taking a look at the subreddit. We're taking a look at the top posts over the last week on the subreddit more suspically. Lost Ark lore video by Saint Tony, my boy Saint Tone. Saint Tony. If you haven't watched this and you care about the lore, would heavily recommend watching it. Makes the lore a lot more palatable, and yeah, I don't know. The way that lore has always been given in this game has been kind of not the greatest, but it's kind of hard to give lore in a concise and like packed way that is like meaningful in like a game like Lost Ark. So I like get it, but it is what it is. Just an FYI to anyone who's interested, current Western version of Lost Ark ends at 1:34, and I assume it means 1 hour 34, not just a minute 34. It will be continued with the Remeria storyline in Act 3 in a future patch. But what do we got here that isn't just memes or lore? Memes or lore? Oh yeah, we have the automatic gold to damage percent efficiency chart thing, which is kind of cool. So I will definitely be hitting that up. Apparently I read this thread at some point. We'll read this and we'll read this. So, automatic gold to damage efficiency chart. This thing is kind of fire. Basically, if you haven't seen it, all you gotta do, use this shit, make a copy, you know the drill. I mean, if you don't know the drill, you go to File, make a copy, and then you can do shit. Basically, though, this is like that static chart that people calculate sometimes, but this is dynamic. You can just change everything yourself, which is the whole idea behind it being automatic, right? You still have to input data, but the data is accurate specifically to your use case for whatever data you put in, right? Which is very cool, and it's very helpful. So, would highly recommend checking this out if you guys are into that kind of efficiency type shit. 'Tis what it is. How about supports? Doesn't look like it's support based, but I don't think the other one is support based either, so it's like it is what it is. Alright, next post. Endless loop of raids. Hey everyone, does it also feel like you're running the same raids over and over again every week? Yeah, that's the gameplay loop, my guy. That's literally the gameplay loop. I've got a 6-character roster, my main is 1700 and the rest are 1660. Every week is the same routine, do all the raids as fast as possible, then jump to another game. It just feels wrong. When a new raid comes out, I'm super hyped to enjoy it for the first 5 to 6 weeks. After that, it starts feeling like a second job you have to clock into every week. There are 10 plus old raids that barely anyone touches anymore. Why not rework them, make them relevant for late game 2? Let us choose which raids we want to farm gold from instead of constantly nerfing rewards and forcing everyone to the same 3 raids. I mean, it'd actually be fun to do Vaulting again if you were scaled the current item level. Or even the old Abyssal dungeons like Areha's Well and Gate of Paradise. I went through all of those raids with some breaks in between, and I enjoyed the variety and mechanics. Bringing them back could show new players that there's more than just 3 to 4 raids run each week. Sure, it would require a lot of balancing to make everything feel equal, but it adds so much variety and show off all the great boss fights that people are currently missing. How do you feel about being locked into 3 to 4 raids every week? Are you fine with it, or do you wish we had more options? This is not a problem that I ever faced because I stopped playing the game right when raids got really easy to reclear. Because I still think we're in like a period where raids are very easy to reclear because we overgear them. I mean, shit, you have, I think, what is the top 3 raids right now? Is it Behemoth or is it Echidna? Is it Echidna, Aegir, Brel? Or is it Behemoth, Echidna, Brel? Or not Echidna, but Aegir, Brel. Either way, it doesn't really matter because one of those raids, I mean, they're both basically the same thing at this point, which is just an instant delete button if you have a character that's clearing hard mode Brel every week. And Aegir is the same deal. The power spike between Aegir and Brel, it's massive. Brel is still kind of, you know, you could have some jails here and there. It is what it is, but for what it is, it seems like the raids are very easy to reclear right now. So I never had this experience where it was like, Oh, you just bang out all your raids in one day? Bro, I'd be lucky to bang out 6 Voldus in a day without wanting to blow my brains out. That shit would take like an hour, like 2 or 3 hours, man. And that's if you didn't get jailed. But that being said, this concept is definitely what burned me out of the game, because it's literally just the same thing over and over. And I love repetitive, monotonous shit. Don't get it twisted, brother. I fucking play MapleStory, and I've been grinding that shit fucking 2 hours a day every day for like the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. It's just like, I love monotonous grinds, but something about the way that the game is set up, I think it's the forcing you into party aspect of it. And there's just nothing else to do, right? It's just raids, and then that's the content of the game, for me personally, which is what like really burned me out and made me not want to do this shit anymore. Because I do still enjoy the new raids, and like when we're progging raids, like that's when I try hard the most, during prog. And I feel like when shit's on farm, I just stop giving a shit, especially now. Back in the day, I would still, you know, it'd be fun to get parses and whatever. But now it's like, I mean, I'm 1690, basically bare minimum gear investment. Like, I can't parse even if I wanted to, so who gives a shit? I'm just a nice, good little mechanic boy. That being said, though, yeah, I don't know. Even if you were able to do old raids and pick and choose what raids you wanted to do, I mean, it still wouldn't really change the core problem, I think, for a lot of people, in that it's just raids are the only thing to do. It's just kind of how the game is. And I would say there's nothing wrong with playing a game like this up until you get to the point where you're just tired of doing the same thing over and over again, and then you just move on to another game until you either want to come back or you're just done with the game. But the structure in which the game is set up in, it makes it very hard for people to start playing the game without spending a fucking insane amount of money to get to that point. So it's like, you can't even really play this game, like, seasonally. I mean, you can, but it's hard, man. It really is. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I miss the pug life, rescuing players petrified by tentacle boss at Sea of Indolence, solo carrying when everyone dies, enjoy players mauling after a couple fails at Tranquil Carcosa. The fucking numbers, man. Rescuing frozen players in Alaric Sanctuary. If everyone plays perfectly, you're just doing the same dance for the 10,000th time. It's imperfection, randomness, agency, which creates memories. I once got frozen on Alaric right before the positional wipe mech. Not only did some Giga Chat hit me to unfreeze me, he realized I wouldn't make it to my position afterwards, switched with me since his was nearby, using mobility skills to reach my circle himself. I mean, yeah, I get the idea behind it, but also it's kind of like, if you were doing this content nonstop every week for like months upon months, it would be the exact same thing as it were back then, or as it is now, but it would have been back then, right? I think these things are such like fond memories because we didn't spend too much time doing them, truthfully. Like, there was like a month or two period where we would do these dungeons, you know, help out friends, whatever, do dungeons for gold or whatever. But then after that, it's just you never did them again. And I think if you were expected to do this stuff every week in the same vein that which we are doing the current stuff every week, it would be less rose-tinted glasses and more like, this shit fucking blows. But that's just my take on it, and I could be very, very wrong. The overall idea behind the post, though, I miss pug life. I do think that pugging is, like, very down from where it once was, and I think a lot of that has to do with just, like, the player base, right? Less people playing the game, less active pugs are in general. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do it, but it's certainly not as easy as it was 2 years ago, right? I mean, I think that's just, like, base level obvious, but I don't know about the rose-tinted glasses on the old dungeon stuff. I think it would be the same thing if we were doing this, if we were doing that content like we're doing the current content. And again, maybe not the specific current content that we're doing right now, because the boss cycles are pretty easy right now, but like before tier 4, you know, like your Theamine, the Theamine homework, that shit, my god, it made me want to blow my brains out. The Theamine homework is honestly what made me burn out. That's what finally got me. It wasn't Belshazzar 1 to 6, Belshazzar 1 to 4. It was fucking Theamine every week. Oh, the Theamine, the Voldus. Oh my god. Miserable. Theamine, Voldus, Triangle. I'm a returning player. Started playing on West release until Argos and then dropped. Came back during Ignite, but life happened. I couldn't play and I even missed the transfer window. My character was lost. Currently 1656 on my main Slayer. I only play one character since that's what my time allows. I still grind a lot on it, but I can only do so much on my own. I have a level 7 Transcendence on gear. Only the weapon is missing because I haven't cleared Behemoth yet. Here's my issue. I keep getting denied on Behemoth lobbies. So currently I'd like to get Weapon Transcendence so I can max it out and fully focus on honing, but I can't because no solo mode plus I get gatekept. Can't do other Party Finder lobbies since no full Transcendence XD. I even waited all the way till I was 1650 to try joining those lobbies and I still get denied. When I see 1640s in those all the time. I also aim for likewise item level lobbies. I don't try the juicer ones, so I'm forever doomed with solo. I have Light of Salvation 27, missing Shandi and Kadan. My gems are a mix of event and tradables, but I'm working on them. I'm tired of people calling my main a rat alt because I'm not even 1660 when I'm working my ass off to get there. Y'all keep crying about a dying player base, but you can't spare an extra 5 minutes because you have 15 other characters to run this 10-minute content with. And the people who don't play the same just get bent backwards. I don't blame y'all, but it just sucks. I love this game, but damn, this is a toxic relationship. I mean, yeah. This problem has existed since day one, and it's only continually gotten worse with the continued added barriers to entry for each varying piece of content. Elixirs, Transcendence, etc., etc. Advanced honing, you know, you get the idea. Gems. Item level is obviously the big one. And people always say just find friends to run with or like a guild to run with, and it's like, yeah, that's 100% true. That's the only way really to play the game now for a player like this. I just don't agree with that being the only way to play the game, I guess. But it is like he says, you don't blame you all, it just sucks. Because I don't think, as much as people want to blame the player base, I think when it's a game design choice, in that it's either like, I think the best analogy I can give is, I don't blame bussers for bussing, but I blamed Smilegate for not being like, hey, bussing is not allowed, right? That kind of thing transcends into this, right? I don't blame the people for being like they are. I blame the game's design choices for fostering a player base that would rather do it like this. And I think there's a lot of reasons why this happens. The raid mechanics, the difficulty, the obvious chances of jails. I think if raids had less of a chance of being jailed, I think this would be less of a problem. I mean, this is always going to exist in some capacity, but I think you want to remove the barriers as much as you can so people feel less inclined to be like this. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. It's a fucking mess. Assume you already got help considering the comments. Yeah, see, sometimes you get posts like this and you get a bunch of nice people on occasion, but it shouldn't have to get down to this point, you know what I mean? That's all I mean. I don't know. It's just a game design problem at the end of the day. And it's just not something that realistically I think can be fixed. Because that's how the game was made. And that's how the game will continue to be made. Because of the monetization model, etc., etc. I don't know. I think that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you to my YouTube members. It's Biscuits Inner Diz, Remix My Life. I'm Nufu. I love all of you guys very, very much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!